I said that the next video would have been my final Oscar prediction video, but nope, it's another Criterion Blu-ray unboxing video because I just got these this past Saturday, so why not do them now? So, as you can tell, this is probably going to be my biggest Criterion order I have done because I have a total of 8. Yes, that's right, 8 movies to be precise. 7 of these are in the 80s, and 1 is from the 2000s. And that's because the 2000s one is actually a newly released film on the Criterion Collection. The rest of them are all 80s movies. And, of course, when I go to some of the 80s movies, I already have finished, like, all the Oscar-nominated and winning films. Now, I'm going into the other 80s films that, when you look back on it, it could have been an Oscar nominee, like if it has a iconic director or a well-known person behind the film, or, like, if it was nominated for other award shows outside of the Oscars, like the Globes, or, BAFTAs, maybe some of the guilds, but I don't know how long the guilds have been, like, I know for a fact in the 90s, but, like, specifically, like, the BAFTAs, Golden Globes, like, those type of shows, or even, I think, the Independent Spirit Awards, I believe. But, so, these are all potentially 80s movies, except for one, as I mentioned, and we're going to start this up with Spy Number 869 from 1983 by Francis Ford Coppola, Rumblefish. Yes, I think, if I'm correct, I'm not 100% positive because I haven't looked the rest of it, but I'm not sure if this is his only film in this collection. I know Sofia Coppola has, like, at least technically 2 movies in the collection, but not Francis Ford, on the other hand. Of course, everyone knows Francis Ford Coppola was most known to, of course, be one of the writers of Patton, but, of course, most notably directing the Godfather trilogy, mainly the first 2, because people have mixed feelings with Part 3. But if you want to see a movie that would be very that is outside of, like, his mafia films or, like, a big Oscar contender, this one definitely would be. Oh, is this a poster? Oh, man, it is basically like the Safe and the Crash one. Yeah, it is. Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. It is actually a Rumblefish, and that is actually an important element to the movie. And it as you can tell based on, like, the cover and stuff. If you have seen the movie, this movie is in black and white, but the Rumblefish are the only elements of the movie that's in color. So this movie did something. A black and white movie had only one aspect in color before Schindler's List came to be. I actually had an interesting time with this film. I know, like, the cast list, like, I just had that. Where is it? Yeah, the cast list, is include, without doing much, has Matt Dillon and has Mickey Rourke, as, like, 2 brothers. There's Diane Lane, Dennis Hopper, Nicolas Cage, and even, I forgot, yeah, Sofia Coppola was in this movie as, who was Rusty Cage's girlfriend's younger sister in the movie. I forgot about that. But yeah, I'm going to go through these a little bit quick. I don't have anything else to say about these movies because I've got some other things to do. But I'm going to continue on with Spy Number 712 from 1981 by David Cronenberg, Scanners. So yeah, a popular horror film, of course, in the 1980s, of course, that ended up getting 2 sequels, and then I think a spin-off and a spin-off, I believe, and then it got a sequel. Yeah, this is, of course, a horror movie, and I was a bit skeptical, but it has, like, this element of horror is something so unique, I must say. And, of course, as, of course, a no-brainer. Okay, and then you just go right to... Oh, okay. Okay, I was not expecting the back cover. Yeah, it's a little bit of a gruesome movie, especially mainly in the first 2 like, the first act and then, like, near the end. But, although it's a bit grotesque, it really has a unique story, I must say, of this investigation of these scanners people trying to figure out what's with all these scanners issues. And oh man, the major climax. Yeah, that's another element about this. Of course, I do have Crash, of course, not the 2005 one, his 96 film, so it's no brainer that a weird, an odd movie like Crash would also make me like an odd movie like this. And that's not the only thing from Cronenberg. Yes, I do have another one in Cronenberg film here in this unboxing, which might not surprise you if you saw the bottom. But next, we're going into Spy Number 469 from 1984 by Stephen Frears, The Hit. This, of course, has John Hurt, Terrence Stamp, Tim Roth, and Laura Del Sol. It's basically about, kind of like, it is a road movie. Like, it's just basically this well-known guy's just been, oh boy, if I had my laptop with me, I might know how to summarize it best. But, it's just basically, like, a bounty killing movie. Like, it's just, like, this whole journey of, one person, like, two people, like, specifically one person is a hid, like, I forget, boy, like, it's been a few, geez, why am I sloppy? It's been a few weeks since the last time I saw the movie. Yeah, it's just basically about this, one person that is, killing this, famous, oh, here it is, trying to, Spanish laws. Okay, yeah, it's basically, just a road trip to find a place for the bounty hunter target to be executed all throughout this journey, and of course throughout Spain, specifically around Spain, and this massive investigation, of course, going in. But of course we mainly followed the journey of the criminals with their captives throughout the movie. And I believe, if I'm correct, I don't know if I'm correct, this was one of the movies last year that was on, that took a while to get officially on Blu-ray. I think it was. I don't remember, but I think it was one of the movies that was originally released on DVD, still stocked on DVD, but didn't get a Blu-ray release till last year. I might be wrong on that, but speaking of new releases, we do have one here, and this is where our next one comes in. This is Spy Number 1700, not 700, Spy Number 1073 from 2003, or was it 2004 for the United States? I don't know, but from Bong Joon-ho, Memories of Murder. So, as you probably know, Parasite, I do find it to be a bit overrated, mostly due to the predictability it had a little bit, and some of the performances didn't really stand out, and even neither the direction. So that's why I don't have Parasite on the Criterion Collection. I actually did do a review of this, but when I was coming into this film, since it has his name on it, oh boy, this is actually a movie from him I actually did enjoy. It is like a murder mystery, of this whoever is responsible for killing these young girls, and they're trying to figure out who is the responsibility for that. It does have, of course, some notable people like Song Kang-ho from the film. He's the only recognizable actor in this because he collaborated a lot with Bong Joon-ho, who was also the director and the writer for this film. I don't see him. No, he's not a producer here. So yeah. A very unique mystery, I must say. All leads up to this massive build-up it has, and oh good, and of course it is a 2-disc Blu-ray, and I'm kind of glad that it's kind of the same things as Until the End of the World and Pino, where it's on this style packaging instead of the ones like the Silence of the Lambs or the New World, where it has that glass 2-disc holder. So even though Dazed and Confused does have one, but it's just the one. But when it comes to ones with multiple discs, this is definitely one. So yeah, disc 1 and disc 2. So yeah, I think the first, I don't know, I think the first one is just the movie and the commentaries, and I think all these have the supplements, because very curious to see how this goes. But I'd be interested if any more Bong Joon-ho films would get in the collection. Maybe. Probably not Snowpiercer won't get in there, but maybe some of his other notable films from his career from South Korea could do something like that. So, if you're not a fan of Parasite like I am, I do recommend you check this out at least once. Might be a little bit disturbing. Doesn't say what the rating is. Oh, Neon distributed this? Unless they did distribute it for its home media release. I'm not really sure, but so yeah, definitely a good one. And the next one is actually a documentary. Yes, I finally got another documentary in my collection, and this is Spy Number 753 from 1988 by Errol Morris. I believe that's how he's pronounced his first name. The Thin Blue Line. Very interesting that we have a thin colored name line in the collection here, because you also have Terrence Malick's The Thin Red Line, which I have stated a couple last year that I was not planning to get that one. I wasn't really a fan of that. But this one, it's a very unique documentary about this investigation of this traffic stop murder of a police officer that was shot by a potential criminal, which is the one you see here right here in the front of the screen. Or it could have been this this young kid that was with him throughout the movie that was like in the car with him. And it really goes like, the reason I ended up getting this is like it has a unique it's so okay, not unique, but it's just like it has, as the story kind of very much got me interested when I first watched it, because I did not know what this movie was about until when I first got into it, and I was like, oh, okay then. So it kind of really goes really well into the investigation, and like even with the witnesses who saw the murder or stuff like that. I will say like the last few minutes was a bit out of I think could have been a pacing issue or something like that, but then again I didn't it was, I think I had a massive break watching this because I had to deal with something outside of the movie for my house here, but it is a very unique aspect to it. I know, of course, that the police form has not been has been having a lot of bad reputations recently, of course, especially yeah, it's kind of yeah, as I'm saying, like with the recent events of the Black Lives Matter movement, which yes, they do. Black lives do matter. The police line has got a lot of bad reputation. But if you want to see an interesting movie that has no race relations, although there are some racial aspects because some of the investigators in the movie here during that case were members of the Ku Klux Klan, but they don't go really much into that. But a movie that has a white man being accused of killing a police officer in Ohio, I believe that's where the location is. A very interesting story on how this investigation really got in, and it's questioning if he did it or not. It's very interesting. Next is Spy Number 490 from 1987 by Wim Wenders, Wings of Desire. Yes, this is my third film from him that I got in this collection, the other two being Pina, and which is, of course, I think the only other documentary that I have on my in the Criterion Collection, unless I'm mistaken. I don't. Well, I had to look at it, but I think so. And of course, Until the End of the World, which of course that movie is over 6 hours, and it's really worth it. Of the amazing road trip it had. I really wish I had gotten more in development when I was unboxing, when I did that unboxing, when I had that movie on me. But this is definitely a very unique aspect of these two men, in like that are actually angels, just going around people's perspectives of what's going on. And the one main angel that we follow, who is played by it's in here, so it's in the casting list. Bruno Ganz. He ends up falling in love with a trapeze artist played by, I think Solveig Martin, who actually, of course, was the star of Until the End of the World, who sadly passed away at a young age, around her 40s, due to a heart attack. And definitely another spot out performance from the movies themselves. It is a multi-language film. It's mainly mainly German a lot. It also has Peter Falk in here, a well-known actor here in this movie. As I said, this is a multi-language movie. But it's just the romance that this angel has with this trapeze artist is very unique, I must say. And even this trapeze artist that Solveig explained, she is feeling somebody that is with her alone present. And that's where this love aspect really goes on. It's black and white throughout most of the movie, but like there are a little bit of some in the first act and I think in the second, but mainly in the climax is mainly a lot in color. When you're in perspective of the angels, they would be in black and white, but when one of the I can't really say much, but one in the perspective of some of the other characters a little bit, and especially in the third act, that's when you will get the color aspect of the movie. So it is primarily black and white for most of the movie, but definitely a worthy one, because I did also watch, I forget what was his other road trip movie that I did watch. Paris, Texas. Yeah, Paris, Texas. I did watch that. I got into it a little bit throughout the beginning, but then it's just like, it didn't like felt like a unique film, I must say. Yeah, it's like a father reuniting with his son thanks to his uncle for looking after him and journeying to find their real-life mother, who I believe, by the way, the mother in that film, not the aunt that's looking after the kid, but the mother ends up, the kid's actual mother is actually played by the woman who played Tess in Roman Polanski's Tess, but specifically. Yeah, she's in there near the end, but yeah, I wasn't really a fan of Paris, Texas, but Wings of Desire was definitely a massive step up to me. Next, we actually have a television movie. Yes, there is actually a television movie that is on the Criterion Collection, and this is Spy Number 890 from 1984 by Mike Leigh, Meantime. So yeah, I did got another Mike Leigh film here. First was Naked, then Secrets and Lies, then Meantime. It's very interesting. The films that have some of the weird dialogues, it's like some of the ones I actually do enjoy watching. Like Topsy Turvy, as I think I said a while back, unless if I didn't. Like there were some good aspects, but there were lots of boring aspects. But this is very odd how it is, because as I said, this is a television movie, and it's unlike any others, because it has Phil Davis, Tim Roth again, we have in this list, Gary Oldman, a young one, I believe, and Alfred Molina. Of course, since this was a television movie, you might be wondering, why did you get this in the Criterion Collection when it's not a potential Oscar-nominated movie? Because I don't know why. I thought when I first saw the title and I saw his name, I thought, okay, a Mike Leigh film, but I didn't realize until when I was about to watch it that I didn't realize that this was a TV movie. And I was like, oh, I'm an idiot. But I did watch it, and yeah, actually, I think it was actually kind of worth watching and getting this. Definitely a very heavy film during this, especially in some aspects, but it's basically, man, it's just like two brothers with a disaffected life they have against their mainly some of their aggressive parenting, mainly I think like their aunt or something like that, but mainly their parents specifically, or it's an aunt or uncle. Like I said, I haven't watched this movie in a while, but wow. I also love this art cover. It's like very unique. So yeah, a TV movie in the Criterion Collection. Wasn't expecting that, but heck, at least I got it. And the last one is the other David Cronenberg film that I was talking about, Spy Number 248 from 1983. His other horror film of that decade, Videodrome. This, oh boy, I was very skeptical going into this because I'd heard like, this is like what is it? Yeah, it's an R-rated. I thought it was NC-17, but this is an R-rated horror movie, so yeah, I thought it was NC-17 like Crash, but it's not in the levels of Crash, but a little bit more more sexuality, I would say, unlike Scanners. But So yeah, kind of very interesting that it does have those colors. The these colors here, kind of like in the for one of the programs for broadcast news. Oh my gosh, oh boy. Okay, I was not expecting this because when I first came across this, the Videodrome disc was up. Yeah, because in my packaging, as you can tell, this was up. I don't know, it was upside down. And, like, the spy number's right over there. It has the title. It has the case, which, like, this is almost like a VHS cover. It says "Long Live the New Flesh," and oh boy, what's it gonna be in here? Oh, so yeah, of course it wasn't the opposite, the wrong. It was upside down for me, but yeah. So oh boy, there's really nothing much into it. But if you have seen the movie, which stars James Woods, it is very. Oh my gosh, I mean, oh boy, it's like a very grotesque, I would say, a little bit with its sexuality, but it has something unique of its horror aspect that works so well. I mean, oh my gosh. Yeah, of course, this cover seems a little bit too disturbing, but it's not as disturbing as the Crash cover, because at least it's not that grotesque. Because it's just James Woods' character going inside the TV screen with a big lip, and, like, just as a kiss, specifically, an imaginary one. But, oh my gosh, yeah, oh boy, yeesh. It's just a bit creepy, but hey, I'm glad I got it. So that kind of marks the end of another round of the Criterion Blu-ray unboxings. If you have seen any of these films, let me know in the comments below. And this Friday, you will legit, whenever I upload this, either Wednesday or Thursday, either Friday or tomorrow, most likely Thursday, so it would be tomorrow, will be my final Oscar predictions. So be on the lookout for that.